Today's video is non-scripted and is just part of a rant because as we get into the new year and the BC home buyer protection period or rescission period comes into place, well, there's going to be a whole bunch of growing pains. And unfortunately, the people at the BC FSA and the BC REA, this one is a BC FSA, have been tasked with implementing an absolutely ridiculous rule. And the downside to being a regulator is, well, that you are not in touch with how the system actually works. So at this point of me recording this video, we are now seeing the new forms that are coming out. And this may be more of a video for someone that is in the industry rather than a buyer, because buyers, you're not going to care about this form at all. You're going to see it and it's going to be silly and you're going to sign it. But this is more for real estate agents so you can understand how ridiculous this is. And well, don't expect this form to be here very long, because if the BCFSA ever did decide to take a look at my channel, they would understand how stupid it is and how it doesn't fit into the ways that real estate agents and real estate transactions work. But if you would like to see more ridiculous videos like this one, just trying to iron out how these new laws that have been brought into BC year after year after year, that in my opinion won't fix anything. If you want to stay up to date on all of them, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because we would absolutely love to have you here. And if you learn anything here today, please go ahead and click the like button. As I said, totally non-scripted. I'm a little bit frustrated, to tell you the truth, and we're going to hop in here and show you exactly what I mean. So the BCFSA has just released their new disclosure forms, of which we now have to update a whole bunch of things. And the number one is the DORT. If you don't know what a DORT is, disclosure of representation in trading service, it is the minimum disclosure that any real estate agent in BC has to show you before you can start a conversation with them. Unfortunately, the implementation of this form, well, a lot of agents don't use it, and I'm shocked at how many people I talk to that are interviewing other agents, and unfortunately, they say, no, the other agent did not show me this form. It has to be the first thing you are shown. If you are not shown this before you discuss your situation, the agent you are dealing with is already not in compliance. Now, it's been totally restructured, and we got a big notice saying it is restructured, and then when I went and read the form, this is the only part that it has been restructured, and it's this silly little note about, did you know the buyers have the right to cancel a contract to purchase some types of residential real property in BC? To learn more about home buyer rescission period, visit their website, because even they don't want to explain it on a form. But anyway, so that's the only real difference on this new DORT form. If you want to check out the old DORT form, there's a video on my channel. Hopefully we'll have a new DORT form video out for you soon. But here's the next thing. So now there is a brand new disclosure. This is my first time eyeballs on this form was today. And this is a disclosure about the home buyer rescission period. Now, a real estate agent has to show this to their client. Let's see if I can zoom in on this for you. If you are preparing an offer to purchase on behalf of your buyer, or if you are also presenting an offer to purchase to your seller. So both the buyer's agent fills this out, shows it to their client, and then the seller's agent, I don't know if they get that copy, that same one, or if they have to refill it out for their client when they present it. Now, it does go over the basically just how the whole buyer rescission period works, which is fine. Plenty of videos here on my channel on that. However, this is the best part. Buyer may waive exercise rescission period right by serving this notice, blah, 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 blah. Keeps going. Now, the date that the acceptance of the offer was signed is. Let's go back a minute. Prepare an offer to purchase. While you're preparing an offer for your buyer, you must date when it was accepted. You don't know when it was accepted. You have no idea when it was accepted. It may be accepted 3 days from now. It may be accepted when you send it through. You have no idea when it was accepted. Then the rescission period ends at 11:59:59 on 3 business days later. Fine. But you also don't know when that is. And then the fee gets calculated, of which you don't know what the accepted offer price is. Am I the only one? Am I going insane here? So you're now filling out a bunch of information that you don't have. Stupid. I know. It's totally not well thought out. I don't necessarily blame the people making the forms. They're not real estate agents, so they don't understand how it works. It does highlight who is exempt, for instance, leasehold properties, auction properties, which is interesting because auction properties can go on the MLS, is my understanding. But I don't know. So auctions are exempt, and obviously court orders are exempt. So that's all fine. Now, basically, it does say here, if there are multiple offers and counter offers, your real estate agent licensee may be required to provide you an updated disclosure form if the purchase price is amended. So in other words, we're going to write this, and then we're going to rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it with every counteroffer, because what they have not done is understand that, yes, indeed, offers go back and forth. The first offer is never accepted as is, almost never. The sillier part to this is, if you watched my previous video going over the new contract of purchase and sale about the rescission period, this information is now also required on the contract. So it has to be written on the contract, and it also has to be disclosed on another piece of paper as well. And I'm going to suggest that this will not stick around long in its current form, because we also have another disclosure form, something called the disclosure of expected remunerations from the seller, which means how much are the agents getting paid in English. There was a form that came out for that particular disclosure that didn't last long, and it has been changed. Here's what will probably happen, or what I think should happen. And the BCFSA already knows it, so hopefully they fix this. This is the disclosure of funds, or disclosure of remuneration. What a novel idea. You have an offer. You have all the information about that offer, and then it all goes down in one column. And then if there is a counter offer, look, there's a new column, and you can do 3 counter offers, offer plus 3 counter offers on a single form, of which then you can actually keep working in the same workflow. So I know this is really, really inside baseball, and this is something that a lot of the community is not going to care about, and it won't even apply, which is probably the stupidest part, right? Even if the home buyer rescission period does not apply to your transaction because the buyer has 7-day conditions, this still needs to be filled out. So it's absolutely silly. This form does not work for workflow or how real estate transactions work. And it is just the beginning of how messy this whole situation is going to be. And I do find it extremely frustrating. And the reason maybe for that is that, well, this homebuyer rescission period was announced last November 6th, 2021. And now that we are coming into play 14 months later, it looks like, unfortunately, the people in place have not even really thought about how it's going to be used every day. Sorry if I bugged you with my rant. But this is going to affect every single agent, every single buyer, and every single seller. And most of you buyers and sellers out there are just going to say to me, why the heck do I have to even see this form? Because it's already written on the contract. And my answer to you is because the NDP. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and click the like button if you learned anything here today, and we'll see you in a couple of days.